Before maps, before kings, before even language as we know it, there lived a man. He hunted, gathered, maybe watched the fire flicker as night fell over the savannah. His name is lost, his voice never recorded. No burial site marks his resting place. And yet, every man alive today carries something of him, a quiet signature deep within the cells, a strand of DNA passed from father to son, a ghostly thread that ties us all together. Scientists call him Y-Chromosomal Adam. He was not the first man. He was not alone. But through the randomness of survival, he became a genetic bottleneck, the point through which all male lineages alive today must pass. His Y chromosome is our common link. This is not the Adam of Scripture. It is a scientific concept, a tool for understanding how male DNA has moved, branched, and endured through time. While other men's lines faded, his did not. And because of that, his genetic fingerprint echoes through deserts and cities, through languages and empires. What can we know of him? Not his thoughts, not his face. But in this episode, we follow the data, the patterns in our DNA, to reconstruct the world he inhabited and the inheritance he passed on, a world where most male lines failed to persist, a world where one did. Welcome to the story of Y-Chromosomal Adam, the invisible father of billions. Long before maps, before kings, before even the shaping of language as we know it, a man lived. He left behind no tools, no cave art, no burial mound. And yet, every man alive today carries his signature deep in their cells. We call him Y-Chromosomal Adam. Not the biblical Adam, not the first human in a spiritual sense, but a genetic anchor point. He is the most recent common paternal ancestor of all men alive today. And that distinction comes not from myth, but from a single thread of DNA that binds fathers to sons, the Y chromosome. Roughly 200,000 to 300,000 years ago, in the heart of Africa, this man lived and died. He was one of many, not the only man of his time, but only his Y chromosome has survived the passage of millennia in an unbroken line. How? Through chance, survival, and the math of lineage. Other lines ended. His didn't. From this quiet survivor, a branching tree of male inheritance has spread outward through time and across continents. The world Y-Chromosomal Adam inhabited was one of primal landscapes and raw survival. Africa, in this deep stretch of the Pleistocene epoch, was vast and varied. Savannas teeming with antelope and predators. Dense woodlands filled with edible roots and dangers alike. Early Homo sapiens lived in small, mobile groups. They hunted with sharpened wooden spears, gathered fruits and tubers, and likely spoke in a form of proto-language rich in gesture and tone. Fire was mastered. Tools were fashioned from bone and stone, and social bonds were crucial for survival. It's in this context that Adam lived, not as a solitary figure, but as a member of a tribe. He may have laughed, struggled, taught his sons to make fire, or defended his kin from rival groups or predators. He was not extraordinary by the standards of his time, but his male descendants did something rare. They endured. The Y chromosome, unlike the rest of our genome, doesn't recombine with a partner during reproduction. It's passed down nearly unchanged from father to son. This genetic stability makes it a powerful tool for tracing paternal ancestry. Over time, tiny mutations accumulate, single-letter changes in the DNA sequence that act like timestamps. These markers allow scientists to reconstruct the tree of male descent, tracing back thousands of generations. When geneticists compared these markers across global populations, they were able to follow them back to a single, common source. Y-Chromosomal Adam. But here's where it gets fascinating. Y-Chromosomal Adam didn't necessarily live at the same time as Mitochondrial Eve. They weren't partners, nor even contemporaries. In fact, current estimates place him tens of thousands of years after her. This isn't because women lived longer, it's a statistical outcome. Many men have no sons, and those who do often see their male lines die out over time. Meanwhile, maternal lines can branch more diversely. And since the Y chromosome is passed only through males, the family tree prunes itself with ruthless efficiency. Imagine a great forest of family lines, each one a tall, thin sapling. With every generation, branches are lopped off, not by axe, but by time. Wars, disease, infertility, or just fate. Most male lines disappear, but one didn't. One thread continued unbroken. That thread was Adam's. Somewhere in ancient Africa, perhaps southern or western Africa, though the precise origin remains debated, this man carried a version of the Y chromosome that would become the ancestor of all modern Y chromosomal lineages. As his descendants migrated, adapted, and settled new regions, they carried with them the genetic imprint of his Y chromosome. That legacy was etched into the future. His genetic legacy is visible today in the structure of haplogroups, branches in the genetic tree used by scientists to categorize inherited mutations. The most ancient and divergent Y lineage discovered so far is Haplogroup A00. It represents the earliest known split in the Y chromosome tree and offers a glimpse into a genetic lineage that diverged over 300,000 years ago. The discovery of A00 in 2013 was a milestone. Found predominantly among the MBO people of Western Cameroon, this haplogroup is startlingly ancient. It shattered previous assumptions, suggesting that Y-chromosomal Adam may have lived significantly earlier than previously believed. Prior to A00's discovery, the timeline for Adam was pegged closer to 100,000 to 140,000 years ago. A00 doubled that estimate. What makes A00 so unusual is its genetic distance from all other Y lineages. The mutations it carries are like linguistic differences so vast that they suggest an earlier, deeper divergence. This means the man who carried the root of A00 might have lived alongside or before the commonly recognized Y-chromosomal Adam. And yet his lineage persisted quietly in isolated populations until modern science rediscovered it. Phenotypically, we know almost nothing specific about Y-chromosomal Adam. He likely resembled other Homo sapiens of his region. Dark-skinned, with robust features shaped by environmental demands. He may have used stone tools, created symbolic objects, or participated in early rituals. But there is no surviving cave art, no bones with names. What distinguished him wasn't something visible. It was his capacity to pass on a single, unbroken genetic baton. He may have had no idea that his lineage would be the one to outlast all others. His world was immediate, hunting, surviving, reproducing, and yet his Y chromosome would echo through time, passed down across ice ages and continents, from tribal Africa to the skyscrapers of the modern world. Understanding Y-chromosomal Adam reshapes how we view ancestry. It collapses imagined borders between tribes and races, because beneath modern divisions of language, geography, or skin, every male human shares a common thread, one man's chromosome, passed on in silence. Whether you are from Tokyo or Timbuktu, Buenos Aires or Boston, your Y chromosome winds back to him. That revelation is both humbling and unifying. He is not remembered in story or stone, but his DNA is alive, a whisper in every cell, a signal across time, the patriarch of a lineage spanning the earth. In the next episode, we'll follow that thread even further back, to Haplogroup A00, the earliest branch of the Y-chromosome tree, and what it reveals about our deepest roots as a species.